Hey, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Chastity. Here we talk about beauty, entertainment, celebrity, TV shows, animes, movies, and kind of anything else that garners my attention this week. And today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things, and that is anime. I will be doing about, I feel like 10 animes. I think 10. I could be wrong. 10 animes that I watched this year. My favorites, my least favorites, my thoughts, my opinions. This might be kind of long because I do love anime so much and I can talk about this topic for a while. I've been watching anime since I was like, 8 or 9. Whenever Inuyasha came out, because I remember watching it on Adult Swim when it came out. Watching Naruto, watching Bleach, watching Fullmetal Alchemist. Like, I remember watching all of that when it was still going on TV. So, like, it's been a real long time, 22 now. So, like, it's been a couple years of me being super into anime. Also, if you like this eye look, it is the Nubian Glow palette from Juvia's Place. It's this one. I use this shade, and I use this glitter. I didn't use a glue, but you can see like how good it looks without a glue. For the lips, I used my NYX Suede in the shade Club Hopper. This has been well used. See how tiny it is. And for the gloss, I use the e.l.f. Jelly Pop. This is one of my favorite glosses. I bought like this year alone. I bought like 3 or 4. Like I go through these like crazy. A quick little disclaimer: these are animes that I watched this year. That doesn't 100% mean that it came out this year, but I did watch it this year because there's gonna be some animes that may be from 2018. Because I go through, since I've gotten older, I go through in and out of anime. I get in the anime mood, I can watch like 8 anime, and then I get out the mood, and then I don't want to watch the anime again. Right now, I'm not in an anime mood, but I thought maybe doing this video and like looking back at some of my favorites could really like get me back into it. I'm thinking about watching Sweet Home, so if you want me to do a review on that, like leave a comment and I'll do it. Like, because if I have people wanting me to do it, I'll have to watch the show now. You know what I mean? Okay. So first anime on my list, and one of my favorites, have always been one of my favorites, is the second season of the Fruits Basket remake. If you don't know about Fruits Basket, you follow a girl named Toru Honda, and after the passing of her mother, she's forced to kind of live in a tent. And unfortunately, we find out through a little bit of events that the tent is actually on the Soma property, a family who's cursed by the zodiac. So basically, whenever they are touched by the opposite gender, they turn into their zodiac animals. Not the entire clan, there's 12, right? There's 12. And like every generation, a different person is cursed with it. So there are people in the family who don't have the curse, but the people are in the family. I remember watching the original, and I remember reading the manga. And the original anime was very different from the manga, so I am very excited with the fact that they're being more faithful to the original story, because I absolutely love Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket was the first time I had watched a more, girl anime. Because by that point I was watching like Dragon Ball, I was watching Naruto, I was watching Death Note, I was watching Bleach. Inuyasha is kind of like in between because it is kind of girly, but then there's a lot of fighting. Fruits Basket, and I kind of like had this. I think all girls we go through this phase of like internalized misogyny that we some of us grow out of, some y'all don't. Y'all become pick me's on Twitter, but those of us who grew out of it, we have phase where like either we didn't do something because it was too boyish, or we didn't do something because it was too girly. And I didn't watch girly animes because I thought it was literally too girly. And then I was on Gaia Online. If you remember Gaia Online, you are OG. You are OG if you remember Gaia Online. And they used to have like a theater. And I remember I went into one of the rooms and they were playing Fruits Basket, and I watched it and I fell in love with it. And that's why I'm so excited that it's back and they're doing the remake and making it more faithful. It's so good. I can't. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I know how it goes, but I want to physically see it, like in front of my eyes, of reading it for the first time. You know what I mean? The next anime on my list is Sing Yesterday for Me. So the synopsis of Sing Yesterday for Me is you meet Ryuk. He is a college graduate who has zero ambition, and is working at a convenience store because he really doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. Like, he graduated, he got a diploma, he started applying for jobs, and he just kind of lost the motivation. While working at his convenience store job, that's where he meets Haru, who is a high school dropout and kind of like a free spirit, and who walks around with like a pet crow. And she falls for him. I don't know why, because again, this man has no ambition, lives in a shitty apartment, doesn't have a car, but she falls for him. She head over heels for this man. Unfortunately, Ryuk is still in love with the high school's college crush, who her who she herself is like still pining after her dead ex. Well, technically, and I won't get into technicalities of what that man isn't to her. But he passed away when they were in high school, and she's still in love with him, and she's still very much so in contact with his family because they were friends. Unfortunately, his little brother is also in love with her. And okay, I'm gonna stop being around the bush. I hated this anime. At first, I really didn't mind it. I actually liked it at first, but the issue is the pacing is so slow. We get to a point where we just kind of hit a wall, and it's just like, we're dragging this out. I feel like there's, 10, 11, 12, between 10 and 12 episodes. We needed 8. That's all we needed. Because it just got to a point where I fully couldn't understand, like, Haru's attraction to him. And she couldn't explain it either. Because I'm just like, maybe she saw herself in him. Like, because she herself is a high school dropout. But it's just like, maybe I just can't wrap my mind around falling for a man with no ambition, like none whatsoever. Like, I don't have an issue with you working at a convenience store because, again, getting a job is getting a job, but it's like you not working towards anything. And just like the age gaps, I don't like it. Haru and Riku, that age gap is weird. He just graduated from college. He's like 22, 23. She's 18. His love interest, and the boy that is in love with her, I think he's he's just getting into college too. I don't like that. That's gross and that's weird. Especially, like, you can tell she's still in love with his brother, and she like mentions the things that he does that reminds her of him, and that whole dynamic, like, the dynamics are weird. I don't get these two women fighting over him, a man with no ambition. And then this was blowing my mind. This man ain't want to do nothing with his life, and y'all like, but I want it. Why? Why do you want that? I don't. It's just, again, like, the pacing was so bad. Because you really do reach a point where, like, I have a bad habit of, if there's a lull in a show, I either stop watching it and go watch something else until that show hits a lull, and then I come back, or I just skip. And there got to be a point by episode 8, I just started skipping through the scenes because I was like, this is so tedious. And also, like, I didn't understand Haru's, like, being in love with him when, like, literally not until the very end, he was mean and cruel to her, kind of. Like, very rarely was he nice to her. He stood her up to go take care of old girl when she was sick. Like, there were so many moments where he was truly just mean and careless with her feelings, and she just stuck around. I want Shorty to get his mine. Because he showed her on multiple occasions that he ain't having for her, and then the ending, I was like, okay, I guess I guess the ending couple is the couple I was rooting for, but again, I don't like age gaps with the power dynamic is a little off, and her only being 18 and him being 20, 22, 23, and I feel like mathematically that's not a big gap, but like where you are in your life definitely is. Where a 23-year-old is and an 18-year-old, two different places. That's just me. I truly did not like this anime. I wouldn't recommend it. I really wouldn't, because you get frustrated after a while. You really do, because we just keep hitting the same, very rinse and repeat with the like relationship dynamics. Like, we get a little bit, then they pull back again. We get a little bit more, they pull back again. And like the ending just didn't feel satisfying. Like, I wasn't happy with anyone that got together. I was just like, are we done? Are we finished? Can I put this away and never look back at it again? A nice anime on my list is Millionaire Detective Balance Unlimited. Okay, So we have two cops. I want to preface this by saying I usually don't like cop animes or like animes dealing with police. And I will explain why. But this anime, another one, genuinely surprised me and made me like, oh, maybe I don't hate all cop animes. But we have the first detective, Daisuke. He is the millionaire. He comes from a family with money, and he uses his money to help him solve crimes, whether it's paying people off, using his high tech to hack into things that the police normally can't hack into. And then we have Haru. He's the good cop. He's the one that the justice will prevail as long as you do right. And they definitely butt heads a lot through this entire anime. And honestly, my usual issue with cop animes is the good cop, because they're too good. I hate people who believe they are the moral compass and that the way they do things is right. Now, using money to solve crimes is probably wrong. Like I could believe that, but it gets results. You can't argue with facts. Like, it works. But Haru was able to balance it in a way where it's like he was very goody goody, but it wasn't annoying. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. It was very much so like he allowed Daisuke to do what he wanted, but he still was like, I still want to do this the right way. And I feel like that's the right balance of it. The music is amazing. It very much so gives like James Bond type of vibes. It's very so just those old classic movies. Like, very, oh my god. The music is fantastic. I really enjoy the fact that at the end of every episode, it is the like how much money Daisuke spent to solve this crime, and the twist at the listen. I was not prepared for this anime to be so good. Like, it's only like what 10, 11 episodes, so I really wasn't expecting much out of it. No one was really talking about it, in my opinion, but like it looked interesting, right? And then I'm watching it, and I'm really thoroughly enjoying it. I'm enthralled. Like, very rarely do I watch animes like as it's coming out. I usually wait till it's all finished and then I get into it. But I was tuned in every single week. Every week I was tuned in. I was watching it. I think you can watch this either on Crunchyroll or Funimation. I'm not 100% sure, but one of them. If you have the time, it's a good, just sit down and just watch something good. It's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right. And I feel like the type of anime that very few people wouldn't like. Just a good time. If you like mysteries and solving crimes, detectives, you're definitely gonna love this. If you like James Bond and you like cool sports cars and like high tech gadgets, like, this is the anime for you. It's so good. So the next anime on my list is Be the Beginning. This is about like, okay, so basically like some scientists try to create like some perfect beings. Unfortunately, a different organization gets in between that creates the whole backdrop of this anime. But where we really start off is with two like investigators, one whose name is Keith Fleck. Keith Fleck is also built like the Keith Stanfield, but let's keep it pushing. He's like the lazy genius detective. Like, he can just solve crimes in his mind. He like puts things together. And the royal like force employs him to help them solve the killings of a serial killer. Like, he's a serial killer that kills other killers named B. So we have him, Keith Fleck. I love Keith Fleck. He's definitely been through some things. He's seen some stuff. And he's so smart. But I like smart people who are not condescending. Like, he's smart. He's aware. He's probably the smartest person in the room. And because like, he just don't want to deal with niggas. He just don't. He's like, I'm really good. The other cop is Lily, and I hate her, and I wish her nothing but the worst. She is the type of cops anime I hate. She is so irritating. She irritates my soul. And when she gets kidnapped, I'm like, good. Let her die. She don't, unfortunately. Because she's the main character, so she can't die on us. She's not, this ain't that type of anime. But Be the Beginning is another anime that kind of surprised me. Because at first, I really wasn't feeling it. It was okay. I do enjoy kind of like the investigation of the week. I really enjoyed that. It's very bloody and very violent and gory. So if you like very gory anime, this is definitely it for you. Because there's one episode where somebody gets skinned. That's how I'm gonna leave it. They get skinned. It's actually the story, like the lore behind the anime is actually a lot more interesting than some parts of the anime. I will give you that. I do have one thing to say and one thing to say only. Gilbert, hell is hot, and I know you know that. That's all I have to say about Gilbert. Also, Coco. Listen, if you let me tell the story, Coco is a sweet boy looking for his lost girlfriend. I don't care what else you guys say. He's a sweet boy looking for his lost girlfriend. That's it. The next anime on my list is Haikyuu. I really don't think I have to explain Haikyuu because I feel like it got really, really big this year. But basically, it's a volleyball anime. We have Hinata, who's super short and he wants to be a middle blocker, which is usually a spot reserved for the tallest, in your squad. But he out here doing a thing. Listen, I've never really liked sports anime. I think the only sports anime I enjoyed before Haikyuu was Free, the swim club one. But besides that, like the basketball ones, I didn't watch. I hate all baseball animes. All baseball animes are terrible. So like on a whim, I watched Haikyuu, and then I caught up to season 4. That's what happened this year. I watched seasons 1, 2, 3, first half of season 4, and now I'm following along with the second half of season 4. This anime is so good. This is an anime where like I love every single character, the main characters, the side characters, the guys on the other volleyball teams. Like there's no one I hate. Surprisingly, I really enjoy all of the characters. I enjoy their relationships. I enjoy their team bonding. I just enjoy everything. I personally do believe in Hinata supremacy. When everyone else got to go to like a cool little training camp, and this man had like sneak his way on someone, that was disrespectful. That he has some of the most powerful raw potential that he just needs to be refined. Someone needs to work with him. I don't understand. No one could see Hinata's potential and be like, we need to nurture this. Nobody? No one can see the future in volleyball in this boy. Because the thing is, they mentioned that like they thought about inviting him and then decided not to. I don't understand. There's so much this tiny little boy can do. He just needs to properly be taught volleyball, because that's the issue. He's always loved volleyball, but high school was the first time he was ever on a real team. Like he made like a little ragtag team with his friends to try to compete. That fell through, right? So what is not clicking that you have somebody that has no experience in volleyball, but is this good? What's not clicking in no one's brain? That you have literal raw talent. You're someone who's naturally good. No prior training, no prior teaching, all self-taught. Those are the athletes you really want. Because those are the people that go above and beyond. And I don't like this. That this boy was paid dust, season 3? When they all got to go to their different little cool fancy training camps and no one invited Hinata. I'm sick of y'all. The next anime on my list is BNA, or Brand New Animals. I'm going to read off my paper because I wrote entirely too much as a synopsis for this. Okay, so after hiding in the shadows, they find out the existence of animal-human, like kind of like hybrid type of things, and that comes to light. Then we have our main character who, for the first 15 years of her life, is a regular human, and so one day she's turned to a Taniki human. She takes refuge in a special city called Anima City, and this is where the human animal people live in kind of like safety, because it's very not safe for them in the regular city. There are people who hate them for absolutely no reason, none, because they're half animal, half people, and they're threatened by that. Okay, white people. While in that city, while trying to figure out a way to turn herself back, because unlike the rest of these people who were born like this, she wasn't. She was born human. Something happens. She ends up turning into Taniki. And there she finds that it's not bad being half human, half animal, and finds out these people's their joy, their worries, what it's like to be a half human, half animal. I did not particularly like this anime. I enjoyed the art. The art style is very beautiful. That's what kind of like kept me going and kept me watching it, was how beautiful the art was. It was fantastic. It was amazing, beautiful. But like the actual like characters, especially again, these I don't understand why there's so many just irritating female characters in anime. I don't like it because she is very much so insufferable. Again, it's maybe I just don't like people who are just good to a fault. Like there's no dichotomy in these characters' personalities. They're just good, and not no person on this earth is just good. You know, we all have selfishness. We all have wants and needs, and it's just like people who are just like completely good just irritate me, because it's not realistic. Because all good people are irritating. She's irritating, and it's like the things are only right if she does it. Like it's I hate people like that. Who again, it's something about people believing they are the moral compass that really irritates me, because you're not. You're not the moral compass. You're not right all the time. The way you want to do things, because I feel like people characters who are the moral compass completely disregard like people's mental health, people's emotions, people's trauma, like everything that like dictates how you behave and how you act. They completely disregard that and be like, well, you should do the right thing. There's things in people's lives that changes how they view things and how they respond to things. Okay, girl, she was irritating, because it's just like anybody that had a difference of opinion, she just couldn't handle it. God, I hate it. The next anime on my list is my absolute favorite, and that is Orange. This is an anime about really like regrets, and we follow 16-year-old Naho, who gets a letter and like a little from like 27-year-old her, kind of listing down all the things that she regrets either doing or not doing at 16 years old, and kind of imploring Naho, past Naho, to fix these mistakes so the future can change. If I think we're doing it in a way with time where it's like future Naho's present day will not change, but past Naho's present day will change. If that makes sense, like we're dealing with like multiple realities in a sense. So again, none of these past actions will affect future Naho, her life, her husband, her children. That's all set in stone for her. But she can help a different Naho fix these mistakes. And this anime, if you want a good cry, this is the anime to watch. And also watch the movie, where it's pretty much the same events, but instead of being in Naho's perspective and we see what she did, we see a different characters, because all the characters actually end up getting letters so they can fix a specific because I don't want to give away too much, because I really want to watch this. Like, this anime is so good. Watch the anime. That's about 10 episodes, 10, 11 episodes, and then watch the movie. Please do. It's so good. It is such a good anime, and like I cried. I was boo-hooing like a baby, and I didn't think like this was gonna. I picked like I made a list of anime that I wanted to watch, and I picked this one at random, and it fucked me up. I can't even hold you. Like I was going through emotions and feelings, but it was good, and definitely if I want to cry again, I'm watching it again. This is a repeat anime. Definitely. If I want to feel something, I'm watching Orange. And I'm watching the movie because it's so good. The next anime on my list is another favorite, okay? Darwin's Game. This anime hopefully gets season 2 because it is so good. So basically, we have 17-year-old Kaname who gets invited to play this app by one of his friends. This is not Candy Crush, okay? This is Darwin's Game, where people are fighting in real life, and these are type of things where it's like you either one person lives, the other person dies. And like you get these sigils that are unique to each player, which is kind of like their little special power in the game. Kanmei, he can create things. This anime is so good, and I didn't think it was gonna be this good. I love an anime where I'm irritated by the main character at the beginning, and then at the because they're a whiny little bitch, and then at the end they become badass. And that's what Kaname did. I hated him the first like 5 episodes, and then he starts to change. I feel like because again he's too good. I hate good people. I've come to the conclusion I hate nice people, and he's this like I don't wanna like he was afraid to kill people, but I'm like listen, kill or be killed, and he creates like this whole team because you can have like a clan type of thing. And he creates his clan of like super badass people. Our main female protagonist. Listen, I'm not gonna again. I'm not trying to spoil because this is the anime I refuse to spoil because you need to watch it. But like we have some badass female characters in this anime. I love to see it. I love to see the fact that some of the one of the top players in Darwin's Game is a woman. You love to see it. You truly do. And like there's so much potential for a good season 2. It's on Hulu. If you want to watch it, it's on Hulu. This is a good time, a surprisingly good time, because again, I wasn't sure at the beginning, even though like you watch someone get murdered in like the first 2 minutes, and I love to see it. In gory animes, somebody has to die in the first like 2 minutes for me to really, really mess with you. You like fighting, you like violence, you like good characters and story. And good storytelling, this is it for you. If you like more, again, more on the violent side of anime, this is definitely a good one to watch. If you liked Future Diaries, you'll love Darwin's Game. And if you love Darwin's Game, you're going to love Future Diaries if you've never seen it. They're very similar. And Eden of the East. Eden of the East is a less violent version of this genre of anime, if you don't like things that are too violent. Those 3 animes are really, really good in the whole, like, using kind of like a phone, like your phone is like a main player in the anime. Those are some really, really good animes to watch. Darwin's Game, Future Diaries, Eden of the East. Next on my list is Beastars. One night at Charrington Academy, one of the herbivore students are viciously murdered, and a lot of people are thinking it's Legacy because he's a gray wolf and he's very big and imposing. But I find him very interesting because though he looks so big and scary, he spends his whole time, his whole life basically, trying to be as least sorry. He spends his whole time trying to be as unintimidating as possible. I watched this anime because Twitter was doing too much. Y'all was doing incredibly too much on Twitter about the anime. All this told me was everyone that was like making a big deal about it, like for like the content of it, new anime watchers. Because you've been watching anime for a while, you've seen some things. You see some incest. You see some things that you'd rather not talk about. And Beastar don't even rank in the top 100 of weird things I've seen in anime. I guess because they're like anthropomorphic. That might be kind of weird, but I'm like, that don't, again, incest. Pedophilia. Like, those are regularly used, like, plot devices. Beastar isn't really that weird. I don't like the animation, but I miss hand-drawn animes, I do. So a lot of the computerized stuff doesn't really resonate with me, because I've just been watching anime for so long that I prefer hand-drawn animation all the time. Because they move kind of like humans, and that is disturbing to watch sometimes. Legacy also built like Lakeith Stanfield. I feel like that's really weird. Him and Keith, they both built very like lanky but slightly muscular track runners. They're built like dudes that run track. Very strange, very weird. The fighting and like the gore is amazing. The fight choreography is amazing. I love watching them fight. Like they don't fight too much in the anime, at least not the first season. But when they do, it's like really, really good. I enjoy all the characters. Okay, so I forgot to mention I watch anime dubbed. Sorry, I do. The voice actress for Haru, I hate her. I hate her voice. I hear this actress a lot, and I don't like her because it's the way she voice acts. That's just like it. The characters that she voice acts don't do nothing like with her voice. It's just I don't know how to explain my How do you explain your dislike for a voice actor? I don't know how to do it, but just know I don't like her. I don't like her at all. Waste of no, because Haru's character is the most compelling. But I think Beastar is not nearly as bad as people try to paint out to be. I had a good time. I'm actually excited for season 2. I know season 2 was supposed to come out like around this time this year again, but because of Rona, that completely stopped that, and I'm heartbroken about that. But season 2, I'm gonna watch it. This anime is not nearly as bad as Twitter tried to make it out to be, like, at all. It was. I actually had a really good time watching it. The next anime, and the last anime on this list, don't really need any introductions. Don't really need a synopsis. You already know it's what Demon Slayer is about. I want to tell you that I truly did enjoy this anime. I think it's really, really good. Again, I think watching Demon Slayer is what kicked off me going back to watching anime this year, because I just had such a good time watching it. I've really enjoyed the art. I really enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed pretty much everything about the anime. I don't like the fact that it got voted like on from Funimation, like I think it was like a viewer poll or whatever. Like, it got voted best anime of the decade. You're smoking dick. You are all smoking dick. If you say that the best anime of the decade is Demon Slayer, let's calm down. You're doing a lot. Best of the year, of course. 2019 was not a great year for anime, if we're being honest. Like, of first seasons of animes, Demon Slayer was the best first season of any anime of 2019. Now, of the decade, so that I got voted out. So from 2010 to now, stop it. Stop it. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. A great anime of the decade. Let's calm down. You're doing a little much. But of the year, yes, 2019 was again a trash year for first season of anime. I was looking at what came out in 2019, and I didn't recognize any of them. It was Demon Slayer, and then like the second season of like One Punch Man maybe. But again, like, nothing on that list like stood out to me. I've never seen anyone talk about any of those animes. I've never seen them like floating around Twitter. None of them animes I've seen before except for Demon Slayer. That 2019 was abysmal. But again, I thoroughly enjoyed Demon Slayer. I'm excited for the movie. Like, come on. The movie's gonna be good, and I can't wait. My friend actually owns like all the mangas. Like, she is in love with it. She thinks it's that good. So we have a dishonorable mention because I dropped this anime and completely forgot I watched almost all 10 episodes. It's called BEM, BEM. So BEM, Bella are ugly humanoid yokoi who fight for justice. The monsters live among humans and protect them from evil yokoi. The three find themselves ostracized from both humans and other yokoi, but the three continue to fight for hopes of one day becoming humans themselves. If you kill enough yokai, you'll become human again. This anime was boring. We had the annoying female goody two-shoe cop that I hate, but there were just no other characters that like made it worth watching. And I got to episode 8 and I was just like, I don't care to see this end, so I dropped it. Apparently this is like, there's like multiple iterations of this. Like, there's some from like I think the 80s and stuff like that. This anime was just so boring. Like, the fight scenes were cool and the different type of like monsters were interesting, but like the actual story and the actual characters didn't do anything for me. I didn't care about their pursuit to become human again. Like, it was just not a good time. And that's why it's my dishonorable mention, because I completely forgot I even watched this anime. To be quite honest, as I was doing this video, I remember I was like, did I drop any anime this year? And this was it. Oh god, it was bad. I didn't have a good time at all. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of my favorite and least favorite animes of 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if after watching this video you have any animes that you want me to watch, put that in the put that in the comments below, and I'll add that to my list. If you like any of these animes, tell me how or you hate any of these animes, tell me how you feel. I am reading Get a Life Chloe Brown, and me and my friend will be doing like reviews on that book very, very soon. So if you've read Get a Life Chloe Brown, or you want to read Get a Life Chloe Brown so you can also join in the discussion, please do that. That video will be coming probably closer into 2021. Yeah, it's probably going to come in probably early 2021. So I think that's pretty much it. Again, this look, is it like, let's look. I did a little liner, like, come on, I did it. This looks it. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys.